I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their girlfriends. Right, the bouncer's girlfriend.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Andrew MccART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. It's fight night. Maisey, Rose, Courtney. I mean, the hair's done. That means one thing. Ready for war.
That's it, yeah, we're ready. Yeah, ready to go.
Well, that's it. Big fight week here in Newcastle. All the young prospects are coming through. When I watched you in the press conference for such a young person and starting off the pro career, you spoke very, very well. There didn't look like there was any nerves. It was just like, I think when the time comes for you to trash talk some girl when it comes to it, I think you're ready for it.
No, I was like, I'm lying. It's all like, I was there shaking. I was trying to make sure that my hand weren't shaking too much. I was well nervous, but luckily it didn't come across like that, so that's all right. But yeah, if it's time to trash talk, yeah, I'm there for it.
You're there for it?
Yeah.
That's it. You did look very, very professional. Like, you are a professional fighter, but yeah, like I said to you, you've done very well on the press conference. You're a natural on the mic as well as a natural fighter. So, I mean, just going back to your pro debut, I watched it on TV. You were co-main event to Katie Taylor. I mean, sometimes when you're a live float, and I've witnessed this a long time, in a few fights, that live floats, they get ready at 4 o'clock. Then they go on at midnight, but the hands are wrapped, they can't eat, they can't do this, so it's a frustrating time for them. For you though, it's all worked out perfectly, coming on just before Katie Taylor.
Yeah, it worked out. It was like the most perfect way it could have worked out. It worked out. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I had my hands wrapped for, I think it was like 5 hours or something. Like, it started falling apart. I had to keep like redoing it to make sure it weren't falling off. But yeah, it was wicked. One before Katie Taylor on my debut in front of 7,000 people at Wembley Arena. I still struggle to get my head around it really, but lucky to have that experience under my belt so early in my career. Do you know, because I won't have that until I'm like fighting for a title, fighting for a world title. Do you know, to have that like straight away, yeah, I'm lucky.
Talk about women's boxing then, because obviously a young fighter coming through. Women's boxing right now is taking off. We've seen mega fights with Katie Taylor, Serrano, Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. We're seeing now Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron on May 20th. We're seeing these Breakhouse and McCaskill a couple of years back. Great fights are happening with these females, and you're putting on great fights in terms of back and forth. You're swinging from the rafters. You're putting on wars, for lack of a better word. So women's boxing right now is on fire, and Maisey Rose, she's on the come up.
The thing is with women's boxing, we don't duck each other. Do you know what I mean? We're not there to pick and choose our opponents, because there's literally like 5 girls in each weight. We can't. Do you know what I mean? But there's no like, picking opponents. I'll fight her because I know I can beat her. I'll fight her this, and like, no, I'm going to fight the best because I want to be the best. It's as simple as that. And every woman that I've spoken to in boxing has that same mentality, and that's why it's fun. That's why it's like so. I don't know. That's why it's selling so quickly, because no one's like, ooh, sod that. I ain't going to fight her in case she chins me. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'll fight her in case she chins me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think that's the right attitude. But you've probably hit the nail on the head a little bit there. When, even though there's a talented pool of women, it's not a deep pool of talent, if that makes sense, but I think I saw somewhere that you said that there wasn't any role models when you were growing up in female boxing, but now when you look at the Katie Taylors, the Chantel Camerons, the Amanda Serranos, the Clarissa Shields, the Savannah Marshalls, by the time you get to that stage, are you hoping for at least a good few more girls looking up to Maisey?
I hope so. I want to be someone that I didn't have when I was growing up. Do you know, like I never even watched boxing when I first started boxing. I couldn't even tell you, and then I was like got brought into it or whatever. I'm like, oh, maybe I should actually start watching it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like doing boxing whenever, God knows how many times a week, like, and I don't know no one, but yeah, I'd love that. I'd love for girls to look up to me and be like, oh, no, I want to do better than Maisey, not want to be Maisey. I want to do better than me, and that's all I want really. Yeah.
I think women's boxing's growing, and I think in the next 10 years you'll still be about, because you're still young. There'll be a lot of talent there, so you'll probably have a target on your back. All these young girls that are maybe 14, 15 years old right now, they don't know it yet, but in 10 years' time they'll be like, I want a piece of that Maisey Rose, similar to what Katie Taylor's getting right now. She's obviously a lot older now, but she's been at the top of the game and she's getting a lot of girls calling out. So Maisey Rose, you've got a target on your back in 10 years. You ready for that?
Listen, if I get a little younger and after me in 10 years' time, like sod that. But no, I'm packing it in. But yeah, no, that's what you want. You want people like the young people coming up and going, yeah, I want the best in the category or the best ever, because yeah, it's what makes the sport what it is. Do you know what I mean? And like I said before, like with women's boxing, we don't duck each other. We don't be like, I ain't fighting her for whatever reason. Yeah.
Well, obviously, the girl you're fighting, she's fought Shannon Courtney, I believe. Shannon Courtney, I think she got the knockout in the 5th round. She's obviously tough. She fought Shannon a weight above. She's come down a lot lighter for yourself. What do you know of her?
Not a lot. I know that Shannon Courtney knocked her out. I know that a few people have beat her. Yeah, it should be exciting. Should be fun. She's a little bit shorter than me.
Is that the first time that's happened?
Nah. Do you know what it is? We have this joke that I'm quite small down the gym there, because obviously I'm like the only female or whatever, and obviously the smallest by quite a while. That and I've been telling Kevin Tony that I'm not that small for the weight. Like, I'm telling him I'm actually quite big for flyweight, yeah. And then now the last 2 opponents that I've boxed are like quite a bit smaller than me. I think they're like starting to believe me now.
Yeah. You mentioned Kev Mitchell. I love Kevin Mitchell, man. Ex-fighter. He's now your trainer, your coach. He's behind you right now. He's standing up, probably telling some mad story like he normally does. What's it like training alongside Kev? Because he is quite a madman in his own right. He's a lovable rogue. So what's it like training alongside Kev?
He does my head in. I can't even lie to you. He absolutely does my head in, but it works. Do you know what I mean? Like, half the time I can't understand him, but if you do understand him and you do it, it works. Yeah. Do you know? And he's an unbelievable coach. To have Kevin Tony in the same stable as like people who are mentoring me or whatever, it's unreal. And Kev knows what he's talking about, even though he can't get his words out, but it works. And he cares so much about his fighters and the sport, and making sure that we are 100%, not 99. We're like bang on the dot, like bang on ready to fight, and he would make sure of that. And so will Tony. And yeah, even though he does my head in, unbelievably does my head in. Like, I want to chin him more times than I want to chin anyone else, but it works. I'm thankful for him. Yeah.
I mean, there's a compliment in this somewhere. There is a compliment in this somewhere, but we can. Yeah, it's a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment for Kev. Yeah, I saw that you're getting the sparring as well. You're getting some good rounds against some good fighters, and Sky Nicholson as well. We've seen that. She seems to be a big supporter of yours as well. What are them spars like? She's obviously a little bit bigger than you, so do you hold your own?
Yeah, I try my best. Yeah, it's good. The thing is with me, there's a lot of respect between us. So no one takes the mick out of each other, do you know what I mean, or whatever. But we learn really well off each other. We have two styles that are completely different. And she will prepare me for some of the boxes like her, and I'll prepare her for some of the boxes like me. And then that's what you want. And there's so much love there. Do you know, like, she's like my best friend in boxing, do you know, and I'm like, I'm hitting it. I'm really hitting it, she's hitting me. And then afterwards we'll cuddle and it'll be like, like, sweet. Like, and that's what you want. So yeah.
That's what boxing's about, man. I believe it or not, I'm 40 years old and I still spar. I still like to get in with the young guns in the gym, but even though I get my ass kicked now because I can't move like I used to, but I still like to move around. Yeah, we're here in Newcastle. It's fight night. The Barnett's done, ready to rock and roll. Oh, no. I'll sort of Photoshop that out. Yeah, you're here in Newcastle. I'm sure you've heard about the Geordie crowd and the noise they bring. So what can they expect from Maisey?
I do want to chin her. I try my best, but yeah, it's got to be a good night. I love I've never really been here before, really. Come up for the the Nationals. Flew up here, stopped in the second round and went back. Right. But yeah, they're all nutcases up here. So yeah, it'll be fun.
There you go. You're going to get some new nutcases as fans, but that's what you want, Maisey. But listen, I know it's fight night, fight morning, so you probably want to go and chill and prepare for your fight. And listen, good luck with it. I'll see you there, and I'll catch you post-fight. So thanks very much, Maisey. Thank you.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,